the current method of money creation, because of the involvement of the money changers, I honestly don't know that they're. Oh, wait, Jesse, yes. Yes, I think there could be a functional form of capitalism if the people get control of the government takes control of the issuance of money, rather than having a private banking federation, conglomerate, whatever, raping the citizens of the nation.
So you and Flo actually are on the same page, and you're butting heads, arguing the same point, but you just kind of see it as capitalism because he agrees the banking system, the fraud, printing money out of thin air. He agrees with all that, that's not, that's nefarious, and that's what, keeps things out of balance and why we are the way we are. So I think it's just the term capitalism, why you guys are stuck.
There is more to it than that. I would actually see as a first step towards fixing these things is for the government and the people to gain control over the money issuance. No longer letting this be in the control of a few people determining how much money is worth, right? That's crap. So we could even within America, I don't know exactly the ins and outs of how to overcome these stupid contracts and all these agreements that have been imposed, but I know that things can be changed. And if the monetary system, if the issuance of money was taken back over for the purpose of the nation, we wouldn't have the bankers loaning money, creating money, and putting it into the economy just for profits. So I actually see if we can gain control of our government, we could gain control of the money. If we can gain control of those two things, guess what? We might very quickly learn we could live without both of them, government and money. We may be able to do things that have not been done in the past, but
would we still need to extend effort to get resources that we consume and need in our lives?
I think it would be a lot less work and raise the living standards and access to resources. I think those things would all be raised together. But
money would be. I agree. Fair money would be. But money itself is a tool of exchange.
It's a tool of exchange, but it's also a commodity. Okay. And as a commodity, and maybe that's not the right word, but I think it is. As a commodity or a resource, it's not just a tool. It has become the objective. And that is due to conditioning and friggin' misinformation through the masses. If money was used as a tool, collectively, we would not allow those tools to be hoarded by just a few people.
Right. Is that hoarded or created?
Pardon?
Hoarded or created?
Both.
So, whose fucking business? Why is it your business if what somebody else has?
Well,
this is the problem with socialist mindsets. It's a zero-sum economic game. In capitalism, it's not zero-sum. Everybody can win more.
No, that's the deception you're believing.
No, it's fucking not. Jack, I understand what I'm talking about.
But if people go without, it is a problem.
Yeah. Here, let's come back, if I may, because I appreciate I appreciate these conversations, but I know I'm not wrong in what I've been learning.
Jack,
competition, okay? Because we've had this conversation about competition before. I say that competition reduces efficiency. There can be the argument made that sometimes competition can increase efficiency, but competition for survival, competition with legal secrets Legal secret creates profitable lies in a land of competition. We've got corporations competing against each other. We got
This is
people
great.
competing against each other. Everything.
Competition is fantastic. Profit is a good thing. And competition is so much deeper than any economic or political system embedded into to every part of life that trying to get rid of it, I mean, it's basically a pro-death position because all of life is engaged in competition all the fucking time.
Where
You
did
don't
where
need money
did
for competition, right?
What, Angeline?
Yeah. Flow State, are you kind of concerned about those who are going to take advantage of those who are really putting in the work, like people just freeloading and
Well, they
stuff?
certainly would. They certainly would. I'm not concerned. I'm aware of it.
Yeah,
People
but
who,
maybe
the
that's
only
what
people who
maybe
want socialism are the ones who don't want to do stuff but want stuff, right?
it's
Right?
not true.
Really?
How about the people who want socialism are the ones who care about the fact that
Yeah, that's bullshit, though. That's
capitalism-
bullshit. That's
But
bullshit.
Jack-
You don't get the moral high ground for suggesting stealing everybody's shit and then doing with it what you
nobody's
think better.
suggesting stealing.
That's how it works.
That's in your mind.
No, that's how it works. How do you get
Breathe,
control
Flow State.
of the resources?
Flow
to
State,
redistribute?
breathe.
Jack,
I
I'm
can
just
breathe
wondering-
and yell at the same fucking time and smoke.
I'm just wondering what your solution is, Jack, for people who may want to take advantage of that system and that the people who are working really hard won't be taken
Or who
for
don't want to
advantage.
participate.
Like, I'm just wondering how, like, in your vision and everything, is there a thought of how to deal with that? Like, if there are people who want to not really do anything and then there's others that are working really, really hard, like how to balance that part?
This is where the theft comes in.
Do you
What
think
about
that
automation?
exists today? I mean, these are. I understand. I get the idea to want all the details. I really do. But
This is not a detail. This is a very simple. This
this
is
is-
very foundational.
Flo, this is bullshit because
No,
you're
it's not.
what you think this doesn't happen here? You think there's no billionaire kids that don't do shit in this world, but they sure do live the glamorous life. And they're
Right,
not
but if
doing
we're gonna move into
Jack-
Jack's utopia,
Jack,
how do
Jack,
we get there?
Jack, let me handle this.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we have automation. Right now we're in a different point in history where a lot of
And he's gone.
gonna
your audio busting up, Jeff.
See, Jesse's on that not capitalism carrier company, Jack.
Maybe if
No.
you worked a little harder and
Connection.
paid a little more.
Maybe if you have
Um,
headphones, Jesse, or I don't know.
No, I
He's-
lost.
he
It
doesn't have a good
was
connection.
Wi-Fi connection.
You
Oh,
should turn off your camera though.
Yeah.
That's for sure sucking up a lot of bandwidth.
No. It's just dead spots on the highway.
Okay.
Okay, we'll try again. We didn't hear anything.
Okay, so we're at a point in time in history with automation where there's going to be most of the jobs that, we're funding people's lives are going to become obsolete anyway. So we're going to have to create some kind of a system where people that, no longer are going to be needed can still be a functioning member of society. And as well as there's a lot of people that have been poisoned through all of the drugs, the chemicals, and things that actually can't work, that have mental disorders. There's a lot of people that we can't just say, oh, fuck them because we don't, it doesn't matter. The system, the capitalistic system made these broken people, made these people into, not being able to work. So how do we not have any compassion for
the free
for them?
market that's pumping chemicals into the air?
Yeah, but it's
And
what
dropping
people have done
bombs.
with that. But it's what people have done with that free market capitalist
Is it
system,
the free market
especially
that
monopolizing
fluoridates
things.
water?
Is it
Pardon?
what?
Is it the free market that fluoridates drinking water?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
No,
people's
it's
need
not,
for
Jack. It's
control.
the fucking
It's the monopolization of things. And when they monopolized the oil, when they took control of the school system, when they took control of the energy, when they took control of the pharmaceutical,
Jesse, you're breaking up and I love it.
Yeah, Jesse, this isn't the time. You're breaking up right now, bud. But Flo, what
Yeah.
you just said something. The fluoridation of the water is not free market. Bullshit. There was a
Okay.
corporation that found a product. They found a way to they created a customer by selling it to the government. So it most certainly is free market.
It comes back to the government. The
It
government's
goes
the
to
government is the reason.
manufacturer.
The government buys it. The government has a monopoly on water.
Yeah.
Hey, Flo,
Well,
I have a
Well-
question for you. You said capitalism. There's competition, right?
Yes.
Is there is that false? Because, like, for example, there's only two major companies that own sodas.
Yeah, that's a failure of government to protect capitalism, ultimately.
whoa. Okay, wait. Actually, partially true. It's a failure of government to protect the citizens from the demons of corporations. Because those two major soda manufacturers, you know how many chemicals and the friggin' sugar
Yeah,
and crap that's in
And
there.
if
You're
it
right,
weren't
Flo.
for government regulatory capture, there would not be two companies owning everything. If the FDA did what it was supposed to do, right? But it's been regulatory
Okay.
captured. So
All
now
right.
private companies are able to leverage government. It's always government that's ultimately able to be leveraged. Human greed is just a function of humans. No economic system will get rid of that. The solution is to not
No,
give them the tools to
Flo.
cause harm with it, and the tool is always government.
No, the tool for greed and corruption is obviously money. You can't blame the government for the manufacture and distribution.
If we got rid of money, people would still be greedy.
Hey, well, here, under the old systems, Flo, possibly. But here's where the changes, this is what I trust can happen. When humans stop lying to each other, there's going
And
to
this
be
is
a
where you
lot
go
less
anti-human on me. This is your anti-human part.
Well, this is the pro God part, the pro spirit part, the pro divine part.
Well,
the pro-
God made humans, and that includes dishonesty and greed. So
Until
this is
they
the anti-human, anti-God part.
Flow. Well, again, then please check yourself and really step back and objectionally
Objectively.
yes, objectivity. Thank you. Listen to what you're saying, okay? Because
I know what I'm
it's
saying.
illogical. It
Okay.
really is illogical
How so?
to defend.
Defend a broken system.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's good.
Yeah.
Jesse often points something out too that not against anybody, but a good point to keep in mind too is that the people at the very top don't really need money at this point. Like there's got to be a higher agenda because
But it doesn't matter. That's not our business. What they
I'm
need.
just
We don't get to, I don't get to decide what Jack needs. I don't get to decide what Jack needs. They don't get to decide what I need.
no. I just mean I think there's over
Sure.
top of everybody, like the guys at the very, very top who are
Sure.
twisting things, starting wars, whatever.
Right.
Like I don't really think money
agree.
is what they're after anymore at that point. Like it's
Right.
got to be something more because they have access to all the money in the world, right?
And ultimately that's why getting rid of money is a moot point, because money is just a tool or a token of power, which is what people want.
Is there a better way to use this tool? I feel like it's not being used. It's not optimized
Yeah,
at all.
you could definitely have fair money that's not inflated and manipulated, and yeah, there's all sorts of corruption within the monetary system,
New
Fair-
Guru just made it right.
Fair
in the chat.
money. That's interesting.
like gold and silver, for instance.
That's why I felt like that the money, like the paper money, is just lazy. It's a lazy tool because
Well, it's corruptible more than it's lazy. You can just make as much of it at a whim as you want. And when printing money is just stealing value out of the existing currency holders' pockets.
Hey, Jack,
um
we have a important discussion on the missing link on Monday at I think it's 10 a.m. your time with Dr. Shiva, and we're going to be talking about capitalism, communism, and communitarianism. And we've invited Lark in Texas, who's a communitarianism specialist. So we're going to be talking about these systems, particular on the missing link. So I think you'll
Who do you
find that.
think Dr. Shiva would agree with, me or Jack?
Well, we're going to find out.
We know. It's me.
It probably is. I don't agree with everything Shiva's been suggesting, but I like a lot of what he's been presenting.
He's a
got
systematic thinker. He understands
Yeah.
systems, and
Yeah.
the economy is a system.
Yes, exactly. I'm a solutions thinker, and I see the system, and I see the ways and methods of improvement, and I can clearly see.
You are not seeing anything new or innovative. You're seeing the
Didn't say I
same
was.
old failed greed
Hey.
policy.
No, well, I am seeing the same old greed policy that the IWW, the International Workers of the World, were standing against over 100 years ago. I stand proudly today with them. And
You know that
like
workers
you
get
say,
raises
they're
out of profit,
failed.
right?
Oh my
Workers'
God.
raises come from profit.
Seriously,
Not
you
everybody's.
start talking profit. I know
No,
you
that's
If a
think
company
you know.
doesn't have profit, it can't pay workers more.
No, profit is after what you do after you pay your overhead, which is included in payroll.
Yep.
And there's
Profit's what's left over after that. He's thinking that you shouldn't have a ridiculous amount of profit. You should only just have a little bit.
Right.
Of profit.
That's what I'm saying. It's entirely a philosophy of greed and envy. You
Mhm.
pocket watch people who are successful
That's not
and then
true.
say they have too much. We want
Not
that.
true. Shut up. That's a false
That's exactly
narrative, dude.
what
Well,
the
it
fuck
kind of
is.
sounds like that's what you're saying, Jack. So if you have a,
That's
you know,
exactly what
different
he's saying.
a different route to come in and kind of convince.
Well, I've been trying to explain this in a number of different ways. I'm not pocket watching anyone. I don't blame anyone for doing a good job or even for stealing from people. Good job, Rockefellers, Rothschild, Koch brothers, all you asshats, Bezos, fucking Gates, all you pricks. Congratulations.
So you're sure you're not pocket watching or hating
Holy
on
cow,
people?
there was
it's
a little
a
bit.
small amount.
All
That's
right,
a small
there you
amount.
go.
of company.
what the,
Yeah.
really?
So,
But hey,
so let me just restate
Well-
that socialism is an ideology of envy.
no. Here,
Yeah.
Oh, come on now. Get off your fucking narrative and listen to what I said. Rather than trying to paint the focus, oh, I'm after these guys because I'm jealous of them. Listen to what I said.
Okay.
I care about the people in the streets. I care about those children who are being fucking abused in other nations. Those children and men and women who are going to bed
I didn't
today.
realize that Jeff Bezos was causing child abuse.
Let him finish, Flo.
He's getting off topic entirely.
Yeah, but let him finish.
Okay, go wherever you want.
Flo, the topic was you are alleging here on this panel again, after the amount of time we've spent together, after the amount of things I've suggested about love, compassion, honor, morality, you want to paint this fucking false narrative that I'm pocket watching.
Yeah, you don't have
And
any of
acting
those
from
virtues
jealousy.
when you want to steal other people's shit.
That is your narrative, not mine.
Okay,
Stop,
how do you get people into socialism who don't want to go?
Flo.
Answer it.
Flo, I'm done. When you want to know, we'll get along and we can have conversations.
I do want to know. That's why I'm asking you. How would you get people to participate who don't want to?
How do I get you to participate? You obviously don't want to.
Yeah.
And
I won't.
you're in the way. You and the others who want to offer me all your doubt and disbelief and tell me to keep changing, you are actually in the way of others. So, Flo, let's start
So
here.
how would you handle that?
You don't want to participate with me.
Prove
or
my
support
point.
me.
Prove my point.
It's impossible because, Flo, in this realm where God allows us to be,
God
God
can speak for himself. God doesn't need you
allows-
to advocate for him or
God
usurp his authority.
allows us to believe whatever we want. And Flo, you are wanting to believe the things you're saying.
You want
I
to
don't
believe.
know why.
You want to believe there's virtue in stealing.
I did not say that.
How would you?
But
How do you know what Jack wants to believe if you don't let him finish?
Thank you.
I'm asking him a fucking question, and he's
No,
doing anything
you're
to
not.
answer it. Jesse,
Flo,
can you answer it for him, Jesse?
Flo,
Answer it for him.
check yourself, Flo, because here, you know what?
After he finishes, let him talk and then
He's never
ask your
gonna
question.
finish
Why do you always have to
filibuster.
interrupt him in the middle of what he's saying?
Why can't either you just answer the fucking question so I shut up?
What's the question again?
How do you get people to participate who don't want to participate in socialism?
Flo,
You make them
Flo,
whips and chains.
your narrow-minded question is just a fuck. You're acting like a juvenile,
Expand my
like
mind
a
and
child.
answer it.
You're behaving like an obstinate child. And here, let me explain this. Number one, you are not the judge, jury, and prosecutor. I am not under trial because I'm offering and sharing this space. You do not have jurisdiction over me. Now, your false narratives, your claims, you have been prosecuting me, building a case, a false narrative that you have not let me fucking get out of because you won't even listen to what I'm saying.
Well, will you
Yes,
please?
Thank you.
Will you
for
please
standing
then
up.
respond?
Flo, I am not suggesting. Okay, which question? You've alleged that I promote stealing from others. What is the question? You want to know how do I convince people who don't want to cooperate to cooperate?
Mm-hmm.
Flo, I've been trying to figure that out for a long time, and here's where I'm at. Everyone is going to do what they want. What I want to do is just what I've said. I want to try. I want to try and have a conversation with people in authority because I believe that the truth is more important than the monetary system. The truth is more important than people's fantasies about what they want to believe. You've got some fantasies, Flo.
You don't have any truth, Jack.
Okay. If you can, so there's no
Anytime that you
exaggeration.
invoke truth, you're full of shit.
That is your narrative, and that is coming from a man who does not know God. God doesn't. You don't know the truth.
You don't get to claim God.
Flo.
You don't get to do that. You're not God. You don't get to invoke
God
God. and say that
does.
You work for God.
God does, Flo. Whether you accept my
Look,
here,
God
I'm
doesn't
explaining
need
this
you to
humbly.
stand up for him. God can take care of
Flo.
himself.
Right.
Flo, are you asking a loaded question? Like,
Yeah,
like for
there's
example,
no way to get people to participate who don't want to participate in
Okay.
socialism.
but Flo, I could ask you, how do I get someone to participate in capitalism who doesn't want to participate in capitalism?
There
You don't
go.
have to participate in capitalism. You
don't
just
have
starve.
to. You don't have to
Okay.
participate in socialism. You just
There
starve.
you go. Simple as
Like,
that.
I don't understand. Like, it's
You
like,
do have to participate in socialism.
No, you
And
don't. You
here's
go
what
to a
I'll
different
explain- Let me
country.
explain these systems to you guys because I
Flo.
don't think people understand this.
All right, Flo, I'm
Capital-
going to get rid of you. I'm taking a pause from you